Hey guys, what's up? This is Brennan. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. We've all kind of been figuring things out with the channel, but we are back now, and things should go smoothly. I've had a few changes since the last time that I saw you guys. I started testosterone, so yeah, that's pretty exciting. I'm 2.5 weeks on T. I'm pretty excited to go through the changes with you guys on the channel. I think that'll be pretty neat. I dyed my hair yesterday. I bleached it. Also, it looks like shit because I haven't showered and I woke up with it like this. But yeah, so I bleached it. I think it's kind of neat looking. I like it. This week's topic is the term genderqueer and how we feel about that. And I think it's a really important term to bring up. I recently have heard a lot of different opinions on the term. I've heard a lot of ignorant and unaccepting views on the term genderqueer, so I kind of wanted to add my opinions in on that. The term genderqueer can mean anything, I think. It doesn't necessarily have to do with sex, like what's between your legs. It can be completely separate from that. It can actually just have to do with your gender, which is in your head. So I recently had some people on Tumblr saying that cisgender people can't identify as genderqueer, which completely doesn't make sense because, like I said, being genderqueer doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your sex or how you identify with it. I mean, it could, but it could merely just have to do with your gender and how you feel about the gender binary, etc. I was pretty appalled to hear all of these intolerant comments and attacks on people and their identities. It was pretty upsetting, but personally, I identify as genderqueer. I actually prefer the term genderqueer as a label for myself, more so than trans, I think, because I do identify as trans. I don't, it's not like I don't identify with that. I just think the term genderqueer is better because I don't consider being trans a transition, and I don't consider it, I mean, if anything, I would say that I think the word personally, I think the word transgender is like transcending gender, like beyond gender. And I like the term genderqueer because it openly implies that even though I am trans, obviously not every genderqueer person is trans, I'm saying even though I am trans, I like the term genderqueer because I'm still saying, like, fuck you to the gender binary and all of its complicated, problematic issues. I don't want to move from one side of the binary to the other, and I'm not going to do that. So I think the term genderqueer is good for me because I still feel in between or outside of even the gender binary that society pushes on people. I think educating people on these terms and promoting tolerance and acceptance is the most important thing we can do. And I think the most dangerous thing that we can do is sit here and tell people that they can't identify as something. Like, people within the community telling others that they can't identify as this term is just completely backwards thinking. You're taking a step backwards when we want to move 5 steps forward. I think some people feel like cis people are, like, stealing the term from them, the term of genderqueer, the label of genderqueer. And I think that's a ridiculous thing to say, because if you're sitting here saying that these cis people have all of this privilege, so why are they invading upon your term? If they have all this supposed, like, privilege, why would they choose to label themselves with a term associated with less privilege? They are obviously not doing it to take the term away from you. If anything, it's good that they're identifying that way because they're saying, yeah, I'm cisgender, and I still think that the binary is fucked up, or I still think whatever they think it is. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. I think, if anything, it's only promoting tolerance outside of the community, and I don't see any problem with that at all, obviously. I think that's a great thing. I think that some people are just very protective of their own label, and I understand that. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but it's also not okay to police people's identities. People within the community sit there and say, you can't tell me that I'm not gay, you can't tell me that I'm not transgender, but it's okay for you to say to a cis person you can't identify as genderqueer or you can't identify however you want. That's not okay. That's doing the same thing that most people in society do to us, and perpetuating that hate is not going to get us anywhere, and it's not it's not right. It's just backwards, and I don't agree with it at all. I think people can identify however they want. We need to be respectful of that. So yeah, that's my take on the term genderqueer, and that's what I think about the term. Like I said, I think it's an awesome, all-inclusive term, and I think that a lot of people benefit from identifying that way because of that fact. Because genderqueer, like transgender, is a term that its definition is very personal to each person. It can mean a different thing every time you talk to a different person. So I think it's good to have terms like that, and I think it's good to allow people to not feel boxed in and like they have to fit into male or female, because there are more genders than male and female. If you even look back on other societies that have more than two genders, that's not an uncommon thing. And I think when a lot of people try to say, oh, it's only male and female, you are just talking about Western culture, which is being ignorant, because obviously Western culture isn't the only culture out there. So that's my take on the term. My question for you guys is, what have you been up to this summer? What have you been doing? I've been hiking and running and cycling, among other things, I guess. Kind of just hanging out, looking for a job right now. So hopefully I can find one soon so I can save up for top surgery. But yeah, I want to know what you guys have been up to. So